Welcome back to Bertus's Bodgy Backyard BMW build. So in my last video, I mounted my sweet seats, which I had to do twice because of my own design failure. But I'm not the only one guilty of a design failure. So a common fault with these is the subframe failure. Well, not the subframe, the chassis really. The chassis cracks where the subframe is mounted to. It's pretty much like 100% failure rate. And if you've seen my first video where I do a walk around, this one's pretty bad. It's pretty much disconnected from the car. So although these things are a budget kind of track car in the beginning, it's issues like this, the subframe, that can make the cost escalate. And especially if you're going to be drifting, doing things like dropping clutches, the rear end really needs to be solid. So to take this and get it done somewhere would be thousands. I'd probably say around the $2,000 mark at least, just for the amount of work that's involved. That's why I'm tackling it myself. So originally when I poked my head under it, when I first got it, I just got this real basic kit off eBay. When I delved in further, I realized I need something with a bit more beef. So I ended up getting this. It's a lot more of an extensive kit. It does all the rear trailing arm bushes and just the whole, it just covers a lot more because I only want to have to do this once. There's also a rear strut brace to go with it, but that'll be an issue for another video. So I best start pulling this baby apart. Alright, this is the first hurdle. I've got to drop the exhaust. For some reason I thought that there was another joiner somewhere. The only next flange is at the end of the headers. So now I've jacked the back up. I've left no room for myself under the front. That's alright, it's not that bad, it's just annoying. I would drop the whole exhaust. I thought I could drop it from halfway or something, but no, it is what it is. One stud's already snapped for me, that's great. Of course it's seized on there. Why would it be easy? What a f***ing pain in the ass. No. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Fantastic. So now I'm just going to try and put a wheel back on each side and see if I can just gently lower it and gently undo the subframe, and hopefully I can roll it out towards the back and then we'll be home free. Alright, subframe, diff, suspension's out, fuel tank's out. Now I can deal with this. And so what I'm going to do with the hole here is probably just handle beat all this as best I can You can see how mangled it is. That bit of metal furthest away there, that's actually the floor of the boot. So that's what we're dealing with. There's like 3 sort of layers. So I'll get this back into shape as best I can, and then I can start cleaning all the sound deadening off all this to prep it for all the reinforcements. Alright, that's not too bad. Some small gaps, but at least the majority of this hole is covered. So I'm going to line all these up, trace around them so I know the bits, so I don't have to clean off more than I need to, and then start cleaning all that off. It's good. That makes me happy, because it's not too far gone. Phew! I'm just going to try a grinder with a flappy disc first and see if that works. Fingers crossed. Alright, well that's works, but it's super messy. Just melts when I hit it with the angle grinder. So I might just try what I did with the sound deadening inside, and just hit it with, try and get the bulk of it with the heat gun, because I think the paint will be alright with the grinder, but it's just melting with all the grinder. It's getting there, but it's just messy. So I'll just try it with the heat gun and see how we go with that. It's all trial and error here, people. Round 3. So I picked up this from Bunnings. It's basically a high-speed like wire brush, because everything else before I've been using has sort of not been designed for what it's meant for. This is meant to be remove paint. Alright, let's go. So that turned out pretty good actually. So do yourself a favour, if you're going to do this job, get one of those wire wheels, because that made light work of it. Well, it made light work of it compared to the other methods, and rather than heating it up and melting it, it kind of just shreds it off, so it sort of works a lot better. You still need to hang on to the bloody thing because it wants to take off on you, but yeah, it certainly makes it a lot easier. So I'll just finish it all off and just clean it up more bare metal, and then I'll get it all prepped for welding. Alright, so I just spot welded whatever bits were left there that I could attach to while it was all in place. Now I'll just fit up the subframe before I go any further welding, just to make sure that it's all aligned, because I'd hate to fit it all and then find out that the whole thing doesn't fit, and we'll go from there. Before I start welding everything, I've got one more thing to do, and that's pull all this down, because I need to use this subframe as an alignment tool to make sure everything's aligned up. Because this mount on the chassis was ripped out completely, I hate to weld it all up and then work out and then find out that it's all misaligned. I need to strip this down anyway, so I'll just do that now, and then I can use the subframe to align everything, and then I can send the subframe away for getting the bushes pressed out. So I'll start doing that. and it all lines up perfectly. We're all aligned well, and I can start welding all the reinforcements back in. Hopefully start getting this thing back together. Alright, since I cleaned it up, I found some more cracks. This is the diagonally opposite to the other one that's broken. It's common for them to sort of crack in that diagonal manner. You can see there one crack and another one around the bolt hole there, and then another one starts running up around here. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drill a hole at the end of these cracks to hopefully mitigate them going any further, but then it'll still have the reinforcement plate over the top anyway. But so far, that's the only other place I've found the cracking, so it's just that other corner that ripped out on this. Alright, there we go. I also welded some extra holes in the reinforcement plate, so I can put some plug welds in here, and that'll hopefully plant this whole bolting face in so it doesn't crack, stops it moving even more. Now, a hot tip with these, which I forgot to mention before, is the wheel bolts fit all these subframe holes, and because they've got a taper on them, they centralize all the reinforcements. I'll show you. Like, see how perfectly centralized that hole is. So when if you mount one of these up, because they've got the taper on there, they automatically centralize, and that goes for everything. That fits the rear trailing arm holes and everything. So that helps you locate everything. And as long as you got your holes lined up and everything's flat, you know, everything else doesn't matter too much. All right, recommence welding. Now all welding's done, and I've cleaned it all up, all the daggy bits, because there's a lot of it, because I'm a daggy welder, but it should all hold together. They're ugly welds, but there's a lot of them, so hopefully they'll do the job. Fingers crossed I get better with my welding by the time I do the roll cage. So now I'm just going to add some sealant around all the plating, so water doesn't get in there and it doesn't rust. And now that it's all nice and sealed, I can paint it all, and that should be that chapter done. Been a few days, dried and painted now, but a shave and a haircut. Most of the welding burns have healed. What a mission. This has been the biggest job so far. I knew it would be. Even though it's only taken about 15 minutes for you, it was over the period of a couple of weeks, just because I'm pretty time poor and this required a lot of time. Things to look out for: handbrake cable. Need to take a lot of care getting that out. I'm removing mine anyway because I'm putting in a hydro eventually, but I did damage it a bit, being a bit rough, just because I was impatient. So best thing is to undo it in the car first and then try and feed them out so it doesn't get all snagged. When I first got this, I just wanted to just get whatever I needed to just get it out there and just get some seat time. Now I've fallen into the trap of while I'm at it, so I'm like, well, while I've got all that apart, then I might as well pull a bit more apart so I don't have to do it again. And now it's turning into a big mission. But that subframe repair, that's a big chunk of it done. I'll put a link in the description for the subframe kit that I got. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.